Welcome back. Today we have a longer video. We've got quite some catching up to do. So let's see how far we can get today. So what you're seeing here is the second session of planting my fruit trees. The thinking behind this was the sooner I get these trees in, the sooner they can get, comfy and produce fruit. So I've got these, I've had these trees for quite some time, but they've been sitting in these buckets, surviving barely. Miracle, I don't know why and how, but they survived all this time in these buckets. So I'm very, very thankful. But now it's definitely time to get them into the ground. So I'm digging these holes, and maybe you can see that it is a lot of clay. So I did read some things about this type of soil, and obviously it's not ideal for these trees, and someone even called it a death pit, because they will drown, I guess, if the water can't escape and they're just sitting in this death pit. But let's see how it goes. I don't have any other options really other than time and organic matter, I guess, unless someone knows a better way to transform these rather unoxidized clay soil into good soil. Then do by all means let me know. After our catching up today, I hope this will be the last video that we have with or without proper audio. Hopefully after that I'll have managed to fix it. Fingers crossed, we'll see. And not only do I have a lot of fruit trees that I kept alive for all this time, I also have a lot of bushes and berries and the like, which also need to go into the ground in a proper spot. So those are actually these. This is it. These are the berries. I've got some gooseberries, and I've got these little red ones, which are seeing now. Can't recall for the life of me what the name is, but they're often sour. In addition to the fruit trees and all the berry bushes, I've got some herbs as well. So I've got this rosemary, I've got thyme, I've got lavender, I've got all kinds of stuff. And all those things need space, obviously, so I'm just digging some more holes. Again, the thinking is, if I just plant them now, then they can get established and will bear fruit and be big by the time I actually gonna need them. This is the first time that I'm trying this mesh, which I actually bought for the bathroom ceiling, but was also intending to use here in combination with my peas. So I sown some peas in combination with some garlic, as you can see. There's also some onions probably there and some tomatoes, but let's see if the little wiring will help, the wire mesh will help the peas grow more easily. As well as the tomatoes, because last year they also definitely needed support. hopefully this year I'll be able to give it to them. And as I tend to do, I love my seedlings. I've sown a lot of zucchinis this year. So I'm just gonna spread them all around the garden and see which ones work, where they grow properly, where they don't, where there's enough sun, too much sun, etc. So it's just spreading them around, and they will teach me where they are happy. So next year I'll plant the zucchinis one by one in each of these squares instead of combining two in one. This was just for redundancy if one didn't sprout, but then they all did. So next year I think it'll be good to do just one. Also, I'm a bit afraid that they are a little bit root bound now, but hopefully they will pull through and still become very beautiful zucchini plants. We'll see. What I've done though here is it's a bit of a mix. This experimental patch here are my onion seeds, and I cannot see a lot of onions poking through, so that is maybe they need some more time, maybe the soil isn't great. Anyways, experimental. And there's also some beans here, just as sort of backup slash, experimental. And now I'm planting these zucchinis here. And what I want to do this year, I want to raise the zucchini. So last year they were just crawling all over the floor, which is normal for a zucchini. But this year I'm trying to, I want to try to put a stake next to it and then tie it to that stake, and so it will go up. This means it will have more air, and there's less chance of the zucchinis getting eaten, although last year no zucchinis were eaten, so that's pretty good. But this means that there's more airflow and also space and light underneath the zucchinis, so the onions and beans can grow if they do decide to come up. So I'm spreading all these zucchinis all over the garden because I think we need to diversify more. Well, I need to diversify more, so I'm gonna plant zucchinis all over the place. See what works, see what doesn't. This is an experiment, year 2, so we'll see. So I actually thought it was quite a good idea, planting under the trees that I just planted, because since there's healthy soil underneath, and they can be nice companion planted in the sense that the trees are quite tall and these zucchinis are quite low, so they won't hinder each other that much, I think, or then fight for nutrition and water just a little bit. But I think it'll be right. We'll see. Ah, yeah, this was great. It rained for a very long time, and this is what I discovered after like a week of pouring rain. Apparently, the roof is not as waterproof as I thought. So the problem is that the water leaks from up top there, makes a little puddle, and then slowly drips down, and you can see like a little, you can see the moisture here accumulating and then dripping down ultimately here in this bucket now. Well, definitely fully living the renovation life now. So what else can you do than place buckets and attack the roof later on? But first, some more bathroom. interesting detail, by the way, about the materials that I used. This wood is from a very old tree of where my parents used to live. There was a very big tree, and together with my uncle, they cut down that tree and made planks. Just literally the one you're seeing is one of them. They made planks, and they have been stored for, I don't know, God knows how long. And now it finally gets used in this new bathroom, so that's pretty cool. And the fun thing is, like, all these materials, all these secondhand materials, secondhand products, and scrap materials that we use, it adds just this dimension of history to everything that I think is really cool. Adds like an extra layer of depth to it. You know, while watching me finishing this part of the bathroom, I'm wondering what your preference would be for videos, in the sense that I've been struggling with the format of the content. I don't want to just produce things to produce things. My main goal is to make this sort of video diary that I like, because it is a big, interesting phase of my life, and I would love to share that. But I do recognize that it would be amazing that if this could be more than just my intrinsic motivated passion to share this adventure with other people and potentially inspire, etc. And in the way that I could earn some money of it, and this could sustain itself. That means that I would have to make videos that would be more appealing to people that watch this stuff. So in that spirit, I am wondering what you guys would prefer. Would it be more frequent uploads? Would it be more longer video content? Whatever you like, really. So if you have any ideas of what would work or what your preference would be, do leave a comment, I guess. And if you like it just as is, then that's also perfect, of course. But I'm curious to see what the majority would prefer. Also, the brass spacer that you see underneath the faucet is an old gas fitting that my dad adjusted on the lathe. So it's things like these that are just interesting details when you know them. And maybe not per se for you, the viewer, but for me it is like a personal touch to something, and a way to show that you can use or reuse upcycle materials quite a bit. Just quickly gonna continue on the video format for just a sec. So as I said, I did quickly coming back to the video format thing that I mentioned earlier. Over the past 1.5 years, I've tried my best to search for the right design for these videos, the right pace of frame changes, music, no music, shots, angles, stuff like that. And I've learned quite a bit, actually. I'm super happy with that. In the now, though, I feel like I am sort of hitting something. I want it to become better, and I don't know what I'm missing. And in that spirit, there's a lot of things going on now. So I think I will take a mini break after this video just to figure some stuff out, because I don't want to export or put out videos that I'm not particularly happy about. So it's better to take a mini break, figure out what it is that I want to do, and then come back with something that I'm proud of again. Because I think that if you watch this video, for example, and maybe one of the beginning, you can maybe hear it in the intonation of my voice. I don't know. There's something. There's like this spark that I'm just missing for some reason. So I'm gonna take a little bit of time off. I think I will continue working. I will continue trying to log everything. This video diary. I will try to keep and to keep filming. But it is something that I just need just a little time to figure out, I guess. So, having said that, I'll take a little break and hopefully we'll be back ASAP. But I also don't want to rush it, so it's a bit of both here. It is so nice being in the garden. There are so many different types of flowers and phases that you can see. The whole color palette of the garden just changes color every so often. It is amazing to see. Then it's blue, then it's yellow, then it's another type of yellow, then it's white. Amazing. Absolutely love the bees as well. And then I guess it doesn't come really as a surprise that I have been interested in keeping bees. And that is mainly because we've met some amazing people that have introduced me to beekeeping, and that is what you can see here. They already had a few hives, a few families, and I think it's amazing. And I really, as if I didn't have enough stuff to do, I really want to get some bees to pollinate the flower, the garden, work with the bees. It seems to be amazing. Get some honey, it's everything. It's gonna be so cool. So just gonna find some spare time to do that extra side quest project, and then maybe we'll get ourselves some bees. Anyways, had a blast with these people. Learned a lot about bees. They're actually doing a similar project. They're also renovating a house which is really cool. Maybe we'll get some updates on that later. We'll see. For now, though, I've been very inspired to keep bees myself, and hopefully we can get some bees here at Villa Oliva as well. So as luck would have it, we saw this swarm. They swarmed out of one of the hives, and they were, as you saw, close to the ground, so we were able to catch them, put them in a temporary hive, and therefore save ourselves some cute bees. This is my first time handling bees, and this is an absolute amazing feeling to have to scoop up bees with your hands. It's just hilariously weird, but it was a great start. My first time touching some bees.
Sì, sì, appoggiali sul culo.
And it was a long day of sitting.
So since that other hive was just a temporary one, I bought this hive so they would have a more permanent spot, and above all else, just more space. And in case you're wondering why I'm adding these visual darker stripes, it's to aesthetically differentiate between all the hives so that the bees can more easily find their hive. For now, I'm going with this traditional Langstroth hive. I have looked into Waré, and I want to do like a combination of Waré and Langstroth, but that will be for the future. Since this is just the first colony that I'll have, I'm just gonna take it easy and see what's gonna happen first, and then later I can make changes.
Faccia il cuore. Sì. No, vabbè, quello poi... Eccolo, vedi? No, dov'è?
Also, the most fun part of beekeeping is finding your queen, which is, I don't know, specifically for me, annoying because she's really hard to spot. She has a bit of a longer body. Hopefully you've been able to spot her there. I don't think you would be able to spot her if you don't know what you're looking for, but I think it's quite hard. I'm not really looking forward to that, but I guess with practice and all, you'll get better at it.
Inizia da un lato, esatto. Vai. Sì. Ok. Vai, vai.
So having almost all the fruit trees in, there's some extra trees that I've got that I really want to have on my property, and those are weeping willows. I absolutely love weeping willows. I don't think this is the environment where, you know, as you can see, it is dark. They need light like all plants. So I need to clear up just a bit more, but I was so sick and tired of planting so many trees, bushes, and stuff that I just couldn't care at this point. I just wanted to get them into the ground because otherwise I am watering them like almost every day, and I was really sick and tired of it. So really wanted to get these trees into the ground. So I've got 3 of them. I'm just putting them in. Well, it's hard to call this soil really, but we'll see how it goes. Also later realized that I don't know if the weeping willow can handle this, but I shouldn't have buried it so deep as I did here. Oh well. Then it just doesn't stop. I've got this yucca, which also desperately needed to go into the ground. Got 2 of them. They started to make some roots and needed to find a spot, dig a hole, and get it into the ground. Then I've also got some roses here. I've got some other bushes that butterflies really love. Can't recall the name. And many other things as well, but I will skip those, I think. I think you get the point. I've been quite busy digging holes and planting baby plants and trees. So with that, the water is officially installed and not leaking, so that is great. The only thing it needed now was a proper clean, and then we can finish the rest. And now we're dangerously close to finalizing or having finalized the bathroom. So after all this time, we'd really want to take a shower, and danger in starting to use the bathroom and not having it 100% finished yet is that you will probably never finish it, speaking from experience. But nevertheless, we are going to do just that. So someone really wanted to take a shower after all this time, so here we go. So you can see that just making the roof waterproof is not as easy. I guess it starts with this: cleaning off the roof and everything what belongs to the roof. So that's step one. Also in my head, this step was a lot faster, and in reality this is the speed. So quickly realized that this shouldn't be or isn't the way to go forward. So did a bit and then switched to some more heavy duty stuff. After a nice little bath, that is. Has to be tested, of course. The hard thing about this house often is that I have no clue what the floors can handle. So also in this case I wanted to add this decorative stone, but that definitely adds like 100 kilos I guess to this whole thing. And if I can eliminate weight just to be sure, then I'm all for it. But after thinking about clay pebbles maybe and painting them white for some, I don't know, this was the way to go. So I just added them. But this is something that is quite difficult because I have no idea what the floors and the roof, etc., the structure is made out of. So that makes it quite difficult to know for sure what it can handle. So that's a bit difficult. Here you see me switching to some more heavy duty stuff. Let's see how that goes. But first, some more pebbles, because I washed them before adding them. So that is why they have dried in the meantime, and I will now add them to the bathtub. And overall, I'm pretty pleased with the aesthetic. This looks like what I was going for, so quite happy with that. I have never used a power washer before, so I was quite surprised of what it is capable of. Very satisfying. Not hard to see a difference, is it?
Wow.
I have to say, although I'm all for manual work, this was quite a luxury. Happy I did it this way, because otherwise it would have taken me ages. The only concern I had was that I was actually trying to eliminate water from the roof, and now I am adding it. So that was my only concern with this approach, and I did hesitate, but again, in the end, quite glad I did it this way, because I really didn't see any other way of cleaning so much in so little time. I just realized now that it might not make sense to you why I am doing this. Obviously, like a clean roof, nice, that's great. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to make this roof waterproof. And there's various ways of doing this. Here's the before and after comparison, by the way. There you go, pretty significant difference. I still use CSC plans, so still a lot more work to do. Anyways, the reason I'm doing this is to clean out the seams between the tiles, and I'm gonna use some kind of outdoor seam that is waterproof. So this way the roof will be waterproof in the end, and I won't have to remove all the tiles, all the sand, redo all the bitumen underneath, and then put it all back. I figured this would save me some time. And now finally on to this next step, making it waterproof. Which turned out to be very, very mentally difficult. It is very slow, and it's just a killing job, because you're like low to the ground, and you have this bag of like 7 kilos, just hovering it above the ground, just like a centimeter above the ground, and it's just, the ergonomics are just not with you here. So it was very exhausting, although it doesn't really seem like it, but that's the luxury you have. You get to watch a time lapse. So now we're all a little bit up to speed. We'll keep you posted. Again, I will take a little mini break. Little mini. That has to be short, right? Anyways, little break. I'll be back before you know it. See you then. Ciao, ciao.